Welcome to the Organizing Your Records training module, brought to you by University Archives and Records Management Services at UNC-Chapel Hill. This module will take about 6 minutes to complete. In today's training, we'll cover why organization is important, analyzing your files, choosing an appropriate organizational system, and maintaining that system. Could this messy office pictured here be your workspace? Organizing files allows efficient access to your records, eliminating hours spent searching for lost files. Organization also opens your filing system to your colleagues, who are able to retrieve a file in your absence, and it also makes it easier to follow the records management guidelines presented in the University Records Retention and Disposition Schedule. Have you ever thought about how much time you currently spend looking for files? It might be more than you think. Over a 10-day period, I documented how much time I spent looking for files and figured out that about 30 minutes of my day were spent looking for records I needed to do my job. I multiplied my daily 30 minutes by the 10-day period and found that I spent 300 minutes looking for files during those 2 work weeks. I multiplied 300 by 24, since there are 48 work weeks in a year, and my 300 minutes account for 2 weeks, to come up with 7,200 minutes spent looking for files. I divided 7,200 by 480, the number of minutes in an 8-hour workday, to find that I spent 15 days, or 3 full weeks of my work year, looking for files. Yikes! Here's the formula to do the test for yourself. Take the total time you spend in a 10-day period and multiply that number by 24. Divide the result by 480. And this final number will be the number of days you spent searching for files in 1 work year. When deciding to reorganize, first you need to see if there's already an organizational system in place. To do this, you need to analyze your records. This may take some time and can be done over several days, weeks, or months. If you are new to your job, I recommend waiting at least 3 to 6 months before reorganizing, since you need time to figure out your job. But you can certainly start the process for figuring out how things are organized or not organized in your office. Begin your analysis by determining which files you use the most and which ones you don't. If you are not sure which records you use, I recommend taping a sticky note or a piece of paper to the folder and use a hash mark to record every time you use that file. After at least 3 months, and in some cases it may take a year, go through your list and see which files you do and do not use. You might be able to purge what you no longer use. During this analysis stage, observe how you are retrieving your files. This may influence your filing system. Also, check for multiple copies of the same record. And finally, conduct an inventory of your files. Inventories provide an opportunity for you to see where records are located, understand how they're currently arranged, identify opportunities for improvement, and track records during reorganization periods. Inventories can be useful for both paper and electronic files. Here is a sample inventory that was created by simply using Microsoft Excel. You can see this inventory includes the location, name, description, date, type, and size of the file. You can use your inventory to test your reorganization without ever physically moving a file. It's also a great way to find records as you reorganize. An inventory is something you should have regardless of how your records are organized. After finishing your inventory, the hard work begins. First, you need to choose an organizational system. The guiding principle of organizational systems is that we file to retrieve, which means pick a system that eases your retrieval process. There are 3 primary organizational systems: alphabetical, chronological, and categorical. As you begin to choose your system, rely on your inventory to model and test what different systems will look like. You can also use more than one type of system to organize your files. For example, you might choose to organize your files by category or by subject, but then you alphabetize those subject headings for easy retrieval. Also, some groups of files might be more conducive to chronological order, like graduation dates, while others might be best organized by subject, like departmental activities. As you begin implementing your new system, consider reorganizing by section. It can be overwhelming to attempt to reorganize your entire filing system in a short period of time, so break it up into manageable parts. Use your records retention and disposition schedule as a guide to retain, destroy, or transfer records as you reorganize. The disposition statements can sometimes help guide your filing practices. For example, if disposition is based on a trigger date, like graduation, you might chronologically arrange the files by that date. Be sure you are documenting changes to the system. Your inventory file might be a good place to document these changes. Plan to review your system every 5 years. In this review, ensure the filing system still supports the retention and disposition schedule and is still conducive to completing your work. This concludes the Organizing Your Records training module. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to contact University Archives and Records Management Services. Thank you for your time.